All right, recording on my phone, but got Clifford here, got the trailer, got my Tacoma on the other side of the camera, and something happened. I was driving along and I shifted too quickly, you know, having a little fun with this manual, and something popped. So we're gonna have to dive into this thing and figure out what's going on. I'm really hoping I didn't break the transmission. There we go. The Tacoma is here. Clifford drug it, no problems. Everything's went well and smooth to get it home. I'm gonna drop it off in the shop and start ripping it apart. I'm gonna do a few things to try and diagnose what's going on with it first, and then I might just drop the transmission and start tearing that thing apart and seeing if what went wrong. I do have some friends that are very knowledgeable in these trucks, so I'm gonna hit them up whenever I need it, and hopefully we can solve this soon. Hopefully you can hear this. This is the subtle rattle that I'm hearing. The vehicle is currently in first gear. I'm just laying under it, like drive shaft's not even moving, nothing's happening. In. Out.
You want to go faster or slower?
In again. Out. Welcome back into the shop. A lot has happened since we last saw each other, which was seconds for you, but actually weeks for me. Let's see, I got married. I went on a honeymoon to Belize. I caught a cold while I was there. I've been COVID tested 2 times to make sure that it's just a cold and not actually anything crazy. We haven't worked on Samantha or Charlotte since we last saw each other because I've been traveling. And today we're actually gonna jump underneath Charlotte and rip out a few things to see if we can figure out what it is. I'm hoping that it's something simple, some linkage, or just put itself into neutral in the T-case. That's all kind of electrical stuff, so I'm diving into this with some unexperienced hands. I can rip apart a T-case, I can rip apart a transmission, that's not a problem. But kind of diving into electrical issues is something I'm not used to. I'm hoping that it is something simple and not a massive catastrophe from adding bigger tires and adding that spacer lift. So let's jump underneath this. Let's start disconnecting the drive shaft first. And then let's see if things start spinning freely, and hopefully that'll give us some signs about what's wrong. All right, here we go. We're gonna pull the transmission oil out and see if any chunks are flying or coming out of it. Oh, that didn't sound good. Like that thing? Oh, that could be the washer. There are some metal flakes in there. Some of that might be left over from other jobs. So this is the T-case oil. I've already drained the transmission oil and both of them look perfectly clean. Like there's no droppings, no glitter. It's absolutely gorgeous. So really I'm not sure if there was a massive catastrophe inside one of these devices or parts. You know, definitely no broken gears, no big old chips of metal or anything coming down the line out of the transmission or out of the T-case. So I'm really kind of writing those off as the problem, but I'm still going to need to disconnect them and start working my way up the line. I'm really, fingers crossed, hoping it's just the clutch. Well, I got the cross member out. Drive shafts are disconnected. I've loosened the T-case all the way around, with the exception of some on this side, on my side. I'm having a hard time. There's a black, I think one of the switch boxes for four-wheel drive and high-low is back here, and I can't really figure out how to disconnect it / pull it out from, like, maybe an actuator or something is stuck in there. The wiring goes straight into it and that's not a plug. So I'm probably gonna follow the wiring up and see if there's a disconnection that way. And then I should be ready to pull the T-case. Things are getting exciting over here. That cross member was a pain in the rear end, but I got it. So I was trying to take this actuator off, and actually you don't. It's connected with a snap ring up in the front, and this wire is actually not a wire, it's just the breather. So you can just pull that off and throw that aside. Well, this here is fairly simple. You can just pull this down and twist it at the same time. You kind of give it a down and twist, and that pops this little boot off. And then you just unscrew the top part, and that pulls that off. Now it looks like I can just pry a good chunk of this all up, and now I'm gonna figure out what to do with the e-brake. It looks like the line for this comes out right up here and right along there and up in the front. So I think this whole section comes out at once, and then I can attack the top side of the T-case and transmission from here. All right, I think I've got one more bolt to loosen, and I'm on it here through the top of the truck, all the way back atop the transmission to the bell housing, to the back of the engine. I've got like 2.5 extensions and a wobbly bit on the end. I don't know if this is gonna work. I'm gonna try and crank it, but we're gonna find out right now. See, I'm gonna lean this one more back. These 90-tooth gear wrench ratchets are sure coming in handy. I think I got it. Just too much flex in the extensions. Yeah, I got it. It's just gonna take a while.
One thing I've learned in my years of working on vehicles is that when something's not working right, it's usually your fault. And in this case, I was trying to yank off this transmission and the T-case, and it wasn't coming. And I thought, well, it just must be stuck inside. And so I pulled this ratchet strap out, tried to yank it off, and it still wasn't coming. And long story short is there was another bolt still in the transmission stuck up top that I really couldn't see, and it was just holding everything together. So I took a quick second, took a break, took a breather, came back to it, and then discovered that there was still that other bolt in there. Once I undid that other bolt, everything came undone. Super easy and really nice. So just reevaluate the situation sometimes and, you know, use your mind more than muscle.
All right. All right. Now, just make sure nothing else is still attached. Whoa. It wasn't very secure. All right. Transmission and T-case are all the way down. Now, I need to lift the vehicle up so I can try to slide this out. And that's gonna be a hell of a lift. This should be fun. Sweet. Actually, I think I'm gonna leave the truck jacked all the way up like this so I can sit underneath it and do a little bit of work. So I'm gonna get some stands. All right, transmission and T-cases are out. I was considering doing this in 2 pieces, but I figured it'd just be easier to drop it in one. And if I needed to take it apart, then I could. I don't think I need to though, because here's the input shaft. It's a little dark in there for you. And it spins fine, doesn't feel like any binding, and the output's spinning fine. So I'm calling the T-case and transmission good. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump under there and I'm gonna evaluate the clutch. All right, here we are, back of the engine. Here's your clutch setup. We got exhaust on both sides. This is the clutch slave that pushes in and engages the clutch system. Here's the 4-wheel drive front differential. The drive shaft shoots to that. So yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff right here. Let's see, did I get the right size? I did. Cool, so I'm gonna pop this thing off and let's see what it looks like underneath. It says 1/16/21 on here. Maybe that's an expiration date. Look at that washer. That thing's messed up. Wonder if it was a lock washer originally. Yeah, it was. All right. Let go. Huh? Besides it falling apart. Oh.
Well, I definitely found the problem, and it's the clutch. The center section's moving without, or the center section's still and the outside's moving. It's just a catastrophic break, sheared all the welds all the way around. Don't clutch drop your Tacoma if you put bigger tires on it, had it tuned, and done some spacer lifts. I don't know. It just blasted the clutch completely apart. I have researched and reached out to other notable companies that have given away really nice clutches to other influencers, and they all told me nope, they don't have anything, everything's in R&D. So I got myself another stock OEM clutch. In the meantime, I also had the flywheel resurfaced, so I took that off and got that resurfaced up at J&R Transmission up in Auburn. And since I'm this deep, I pulled out the rear main seal and replaced that as well. I should mention that it's been now a bunch of months since this issue came about, and I have put the vehicle back together, and I'm driving it on a daily now, and everything's working great. So this was definitely the problem, and I'm glad it was this simple and nothing massive inside of the T-case or transmission. So I appreciate you watching. Hammer down on that subscribe button if you enjoyed the video, and like always, my friends, keep crawling.